So you're joining us on this section fault video. I'm out dealing with a 24-hour burning area. Again, another cast box, another overhead installation, sort of quite typical of the West End. You can see there my switch is on auto, all my breakers are on, so it's either going to be a photocell issue up at my feed column, set my van up now ready to go and have a wee look, or it's going to be a contactor. Probably a photocell issue, but I'll do a few wee checks and confirm that. So in this particular installation, the way they've wired it is my photocell is actually on my pole box here. I've had a wee look at the old one there. Doesn't look overly bad. Sometimes you see sort of condensation or signs of damage inside, but it doesn't look too bad. I've swapped out anyway for a new one, and I can still hear down there my contactors clicking in and out, so I believe that's going to be my issue. So we'll go down there now, I'll see if I've got a spare contactor on the van and take it for there. So just to confirm that it definitely isn't the photocell that's the issue. Sometimes when you put it in up the top, it still doesn't be able to click off like it should. So switch this back on, photocell's obviously clicking on. But you do generally get a bit of noise off the contactor like that. It doesn't sound too healthy. And that's obviously pretty ancient, that square D one, that's probably been in there for a good 20-30 years. So I've got a couple of different types here. Get this Eaton one, and then I've got this old, what's that, Mitsubishi. Obviously that's been stripped out an old panel that was working, but I'll maybe even just stick in a brand new one just to obviously confirm that it's definitely going to do the job. But while I was looking at this live end, obviously that can get stripped out, or obviously I'll be stripping that stuff out because that's just, again, needlessly, stupidly dangerous there. But I'll just crack on with installing this new contactor. So for anyone interested, there's the inside and there's the winding of that contactor. You can see there's some broken bits in there. For this video I'm not going to be getting into too much depth of changing this over. I think I've already done a changing a contactor over video. I think it was a fuse box one installed. Pretty much the same thing, just copying the 1, 2 or 1, 3 and 5 over. So I'll just crack on with doing this. Plus obviously it's soaking wet today, so I'll not really be able to do much filming, but I just thought I'd show you this job. So I've been sent out to a section fault down here. This is Scarabay Street, and down in the distance there, that black box there controls everything here, and that's all in order. And I was thinking it possibly fed this lane, but obviously there's a box here, and having had a wee look inside it, you can obviously see there that it's got its own metered supply and all that sort of stuff. And obviously, well, first and foremost, meter's not on, but all this stuff's fine. I'm getting this, or obviously there's no seals or anything like that in that fuse anyway, but getting a supply in from the street, but no supply here obviously because it's, well, the meter and stuff like that's just not being paid. But I'll just need to return this to the client to say that it's obviously privately owned and it's their duty to obviously maintain it and pay that and all that stuff. But quite interesting, you're quite interesting, you're starting to see more and more of this across the city. Private, maintained street lighting. But another wee thing, look at the size of the tails. Are they 6mm? But it looks at double insulated tails compared to all the rest of it. It's on a 10 or 16mm armour. But there you go, you're seeing life in it now, but need to get whoever actually maintains this to come out and sort of do their bit in this. So I've actually just had a wee play about with this meter and got everything working on it, but there's obviously just no money in the meter, as you can see there. So obviously I'm not 100% sure on how all that side of things work here when it's the private lighting, but I can just stick this in as my findings here. You can see now I'm getting the supply out it. Might as well test this LCD while I'm here. That's fine, but look at that for a new install as well, just a big bit of connector block. They've obviously just cut that too short. But aye, quite interesting. I'll put this back together and report this back to the client. Right, this wee part of the video is for all the proper lighting enthusiasts. This one is probably quite interesting. So down this wee street here, it's all quite decorative 70 watt stuff, and the way these are all done is like so. Obviously it's a bit rough, but there's no real way of getting around that here, and this is the exact reason why I still carry about stock with me. So I've obviously got 70 watt gear, 70 watt lamp, and it's just so that I'm not sticking back into the client that this is unrepairable, and obviously it would need to end up getting chopped away and ASD monstrosity put on it. So as mentioned, I've got this brand new gear that I've obviously kept in stock, so I'm just going to do a straight swap out of that. It's not going to look pretty being stuck there, but it's going to be better than nothing and better than an LED being stuck up here. I've obviously got a brand new lamp as well. Evon pouch still doing bits for me. I've already proven dead here and handed. I've already proven dead here. So hard to do one-handed, but aye, that's dead. Check my fuse is fine. Box is just there, so I can test it afterwards. I've already carried out a repair on that one, just done the exact same thing. So I'll crack on and I'll come back in and show you as I do bits. Like I said, this wee bit here isn't going to be overly neat, but there's no really much I can do. Failing that, it would be a full strip out and a brand new ASD fitting on it, and that's what and nobody wants that. For the benefit of this video as well, I've just marked up these terminations. Obviously the ones on the right are going to be my feed in, so the earth, my feed in, and then my neutral in, and then the other two are for the lamp holder. It doesn't really matter what order you put them in, but I always keep it the same because obviously I know that it works, and it's just an OCD thing, so I always go my two neutrals next to each other and my lives on either side of that. For the earth here, it's going to be quite difficult to get 215s in there, so I'll maybe even just join them through or something like that. I'll see if I can get them in, but failing that I'll just put them in a wee wiggle. Here's a bit of a closer look of these fittings while I'm up at the bucket. So there's two captive 4mm bolts that hold it in, but this one is really badly seized and it's actually sheared off when I've been loosening it. Take the bucket pivot. It's quite a decent size, these fittings, so it's like it's got one of these wee catches like for inside the car, working on it. Just so that you can work on it here, and then this just lifts up, I believe. I've not actually worked on these that much. Try to see what side that will lift. There you we go. That releases the 70 watt lamp, so for reflexing these, it's not really an option. As you can see, it's all sort of pre-wired down to the base, so that's why obviously the original person, or when it's been installed, all the gear would have been down there, and then it's just been retrofitted like that ever since. So I'll change this lamp over for that brand new one. Right, so brand new lamp back in compared to the old one. Obviously all the black on there, and then it's discoloured at the end. So it's just going to be the reverse of what I've done. If I can get it in. There you go. Chuck your lamp down. Put my wee bonnet catched in. Close this over. And then I'll put that 4mm rub screw back on. So not sure if I mentioned, but gear's been done, been fixed back. Fuse covers in, screwed back on. Still to stick this door back on, but I'll do that in a wee minute. I just want to make sure this all works first, so I'll take a wee walk down to the box. So I've already been in here and tested that my other one was working, but just tag that out. I'm going to go and switch it back off obviously, but I just want to make sure this one's working. Can you see there, that lamp's starting to come up now. So I'll go and switch that box back off and button that door back up, do a wee tidy up. There you go, it's coming up nice now, and that job's a good in here. Door back on, box switched off, all my rubbish cleared up. So jump back in the van, I'll turn the camera around and have a wee debrief on that one. Right, so I thought that was quite an interesting wee job to show you there. Obviously I'm anticipating a few folk in the comments having something to say about the way I left that gear tray at the bottom of the fitting, but there's no really any other way to do that, and I wanted to try and salvage the ornamental fittings instead of advising that it gets chopped away and one of the ASD fittings with no character get put in its place. I'm sure most of you will understand and agree with that logic. It's all locked away behind that pull door that's got two fixings on it basically to secure it, so I'm no worried about anything like that either. Just thought I'd make that clear.